So the planets that are easiest for us to see are Jupiter and Venus, because the two of them are really bright in our sky. Venus is so easy to see, a lot of times people have seen it and not realized they've seen it. So Mercury, it is visible to just your eye, but Mercury's one of the hard ones to see with just your eye. Mercury has what we would call the greatest elongation. It has several of these a year. And these are the times when Mercury is farthest from the sun. So if you picture, like, sometimes as the sun's moving across the sky, Mercury is right close to it, so it makes it almost impossible to see. When Mercury is at greatest elongation, that's the farthest it's going to be on the sky. If you picture the western sky, you're going to have the moon, then you're going to have Mars, which is pretty bright and easily visible, then you're going to have Mercury, and then you're going to have Venus. And so the easiest two to see are the moon and Venus, then Mars, and the hardest one to see is Mercury. So a lunar eclipse, the whole process takes a fairly long time. You have if you picture Earth's shadow and you picture the moon moving through Earth's shadow, the time from start to finish is fairly long. When the moon is passing directly into the shadow of Earth, just so happens to be after the sun is up on the East Coast, whereas if you're in California, because of the different time zone, the moment of total eclipse, it will still be dark in the western part of the country. Given where all the people watching this are, we can't say for sure that you're even going to be able to see any of it, but if you want to try, looking right before sunrise on May 26th is your best opportunity to potentially see it. There will be a solar eclipse on June 10th of this year, referred to as an annular solar eclipse. If you think of the geometry again, you think about the sun floating out there in space and the Earth floating out there in space, and then the moon orbiting around the Earth. And what's happening is the moon's shadow is landing on the Earth. When the moon is a little bit further away from the Earth, so it appears a little bit smaller in our sky, it's not quite big enough to completely block out the sun. At maximum eclipse, the moon will look a little bit smaller than the sun, so it'll leave a ring of light. So for this one on June 10th, the path of the eclipse is going to pass through northeastern Canada, Greenland, and Siberia. So places in general that are hard to travel to in normal times. If you're not exactly underneath the shadow of the moon, but you're near it, you can see what's called a partial solar eclipse, where you won't see the moon pass completely in front of the sun. And so some of the sun will appear to be blocked out by the moon. And that is going to be visible in Pennsylvania. The eclipse will be in progress at sunrise. And for those of us here in Center County, the maximum eclipse, where the most of the sun is going to appear to be blocked by the moon, will happen just before sunrise.